Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, crews are making progress on the Sarco Creek fire in Goliad County, which has been burning for 3 days.
Texas nurses rally to protect Medicaid access.
Plus, the days of free beach trips at Lighthouse Beach in Port Lavaca are coming to an end.
Giving you your weekend forecast, but I've got the best news of all. Next week, there's a pretty good chance we're going to get some rain around here. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment.
We have top-level softball action between Shawna Lady Comanches and Grenado Madians. We'll preview this game coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie.
And I'm Brubaker.
Multiple agencies team up for a drug bust early this morning in Lavaca County. Yoakum Police, the Westside Narcotics Task Force, and multiple other law enforcement agencies executed a pre-planned drug operation. It ended with 3 arrests, 1 inside the Yoakum city limits and 2 just north of Hallettsville. Authorities say they found multiple types of narcotics and guns. We've reached out to Yoakum PD as well as the Austin County Sheriff's Office for more details and are waiting to hear back. Victoria College is now in the bricklaying phase of building the new Student Success Center.
25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley joins us with more. Ray?
Yes, Shawna and Don, the foundation is set, the walls are up, and now bricks are being laid at the Victoria College new Student Success Center. The 3-story expansion and renovation of the existing Student Center will place student resources under one roof. Students will have access to convenience to the library, admissions, advising, financial aid, testing, and more. This is a $2.8 million project. Ground was broken on the center in January 2024. The Victoria College Student Success Center is scheduled to be finished by the fall, in time to celebrate Victoria College's 100th anniversary. Shawna, Don, back to you.
The Sarco Creek fire in Goliad County is now 100% contained. The fire started Wednesday evening about 10 miles northwest of Refugio. Crews from Goliad County, Blanconia, Refugio, Woodsboro, Beeville, along with the Texas Department of Emergency Management and the Texas Forest Service have been on scene. The fire has burned 200 acres. Well, even with calmer wind, there's still fire danger. We're still very dry.
Yeah, it's still very dry, still very windy, but maybe Mac has something up his sleeve as far as fixing the dry problem. But we have to wait till next week, right?
Look, I'm looking up my sleeve and I found it. I found it. Yes, no, I've got good news. Last night I was looking at the computer programs and things started looking interesting for next week. And then as of today, here's your Thursday at 3 p.m. and what do you see? Boom, rain right over our area. So the weekend's looking good on the dry side, but next week it's going to look even better when we finally get some rain going through here. We'll be talking about that coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, when we have beautiful weather like this, Lighthouse Beach in Port Lavaca is a popular place for fun in the sun, but the days of enjoying the beach there for free will soon be washed away.
25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joined us now with more details. Trenton?
Don, Shawna, thank you. And yes, those days of free trips to the beach are indeed over after Port Lavaca City Council reestablished a fee for entrance. Port Lavaca City Manager Jody Weaver says the toll to enter Lighthouse Beach has always been around, but the toll has been closed due to difficulties of keeping a manned toll booth as well as the COVID-19 pandemic back in 2020. But with the city's ability to bring in an automated toll booth, the entry fees will be reinforced. Yoakum resident Sasha Brown and her family drive to Lighthouse Beach often, and they say the toll will be a small price to pay in exchange for the valuable family time.
I don't think that the toll bothers me because for my kids to enjoy their day and me to relax, it doesn't bother me at all.
Weaver says the automated toll gate should be operational by mid to late summer. All funds collected will go toward maintaining Lighthouse Beach. The prices will be $5 for an all-day pass and $25 for a full year. Shawna, Don, back to you.
All right, well, this brings us to our viewer poll today. Will the toll for Lighthouse Beach keep you from visiting? Yes or no? 69% of voters say it will keep them from visiting Lighthouse Beach. But again, you know, that money goes back into keeping it clean and keeping it maintained. So we want to hear from you, though. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we'll have another look at the numbers on 25 News Now at 10.
The number of Texas measles cases rises to 309. State officials say the West Texas outbreak spread to 3 new counties, Hockley, Hale, and Garza, for a total of 14 affected counties as of Friday. 40 patients are hospitalized. Most of the measles cases, 211, were centered in Gaines County, about 90 minutes southwest of Lubbock on the New Mexico border. 3 new counties near Lubbock have reported cases. 307 of the cases reported so far involved patients who were unvaccinated. Nurses demonstrated Thursday outside U.S. Senator John Cornyn's district office in Austin. They were protesting cuts to Medicaid by Congress.
They say those proposed cuts would affect millions of Texans. Jamal Kennedy reports.
Nurses marched to Texas Senator John Cornyn's district office Thursday, demanding he hear their appeals to save Medicaid for Texans.
It's not just going to affect, our elderly patients or our children on CHIP. It's going to affect the entire hospital system.
Austin nurse Monica Gonzalez was one of the many faces leading the charge Thursday afternoon.
We nurses know that health care is a human right.
As the federal government considers major budget cuts, they want lawmakers to realize the negative impact cutting Medicaid would have on their constituents, like the 4.2 million Texans currently enrolled.
There's people right now who are afraid of losing their benefits.
For ICU nurse Taylor Crittenden, cuts to Medicaid in Texas will mean something much worse.
Taking away the safety net of Medicaid is going to cost people lives. That's just the bottom line.
During their march, the group of nurses carried with them a check totaling more than $57 billion, which symbolizes all the money allocated to Medicaid in Texas. They tried delivering it to Senator Cornyn's office, but were denied entry to the building.
What do we do?
Still, they want their message to be heard.
We're still hoping that he can hear us when we say this is not okay. Our patients are not for sale.
The demonstrators were also protesting possible cuts to the Children's Health Insurance Program, also known as CHIP.
A flurry of bills in the Texas legislature aim to restrict the flow of abortion pills into the state and abortion seekers traveling out of the state. To read the full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com.
There's another chance to catch the latest episode of Let's Grow Texas Ag. It will air Sunday morning at 10 on KVCT Fox 19. We are also streaming on Zeam, that's Z-E-A-M. So don't forget to tune in to Let's Grow Texas Ag.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. You can watch previous episodes of Let's Grow Texas Ag, as well as all of our news on YouTube. So coming up on 25 News now at 6, protesters rally against plans to dissolve the education department.
Also ahead, a massive fire shuts down Heathrow Airport in London, disrupting travel worldwide.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from a doctor from DTAR, we learn about Jaguar Day, a scholarship opportunity, and we hear from students from Howell Middle School.
Here comes the baker with his tray like always, the same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same, since the morning that we came to this pauper
A protest was held today in front of the Department of Education building in Washington, D.C. The protest was sponsored by a group called the Sunshine Network. This protest comes a day after the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, released her plan to dissolve the department and move critical functions such as funding low-income schools and managing student grants to the state level. This after President Trump signed an executive order to dismantle the department. That will need congressional approval.
I'm really just afraid of the younger kids. That's really what I'm afraid of. The kids, who go to school, and sometimes school is their only place where they can get a fresh cooked meal, breakfast, lunch, and sometimes that's the only meals that they have. So that's really one of the main things that I'm so afraid of, is to see children who may not have the benefit to be able to eat at home and be able to go to private school. So that's my main priority of what I'm thinking. It's mostly how will this affect young kids.
The impact on vulnerable children remains a growing concern.
A Louisiana immigration judge grants an extension in the deportation case against Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil. Khalil is a permanent legal resident married to a U.S. citizen, and he played a key role in protests over the Israel-Hamas war at Columbia University last year. He was taken into custody in New York City more than 2 weeks ago and is currently being held at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention center in Louisiana. His lawyers requested the extension during a brief appearance before the judge, who approved it. Khalil's next immigration hearing is set for April 8th. Many air travelers worldwide found themselves stuck today if their routes went into, out of, or through London's Heathrow Airport. A fire broke out at an electrical substation, knocking out power and sending global flight plans into chaos.
Some of those flight plans in Texas, and the fire's under control now, but its impact could be felt by travelers for days.
It was incredibly dark. All the street lights were out.
This air traveler among many arriving to eerie darkness at London's Heathrow Airport pre-dawn today. All power at the airport had been knocked out by this massive fire, sparked at an electrical substation in the nearby town of Hayes. With Europe's busiest airport at a standstill, global ripple effects were felt almost immediately. A passenger aboard this London-bound flight in Boston overnight told CNN they waited over 3.5 hours on the tarmac before being sent back to the gate. At another major U.S. hub, Chicago's O'Hare International, several check-in counters were quiet and a number of Heathrow-bound flights impacted.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Many communities surrounding Heathrow woke to a sky filled with smoke and flames in the distance. Fire crews were able to get the blaze under control, and a police spokesperson says foul play is not suspected. Still, a counterterrorism unit is working with fire officials to determine the cause.
The worst thing you could do is to start it off as a simple arson investigation working with the power company and find out after the fact there's something sinister behind it and play catch up. So this is them being proactive.
Heathrow officials say they will begin some flights this evening, beginning with repatriation flights for passengers diverted to other airports across Europe. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
This afternoon, the head of Heathrow Airport said he expects to be fully operational by Saturday morning.
Disruption at the airport may last up to a week before returning to normal, though.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yep, another day, lots of sunshine, pretty good looking day. The winds are out of the southeast, so slowly but surely that humidity is going to start to increase over the weekend, which is good. It knocks down the fire damage. We're at 72 right now, and our winds fairly brisk at about 13 miles an hour. Our high today got up to 75, and it was a cool morning, but that's all right. Warming weather as we get to the weekend, but the best news of all, I'm serious, the best news of all is next week we got a pretty good chance for rain. We'll talk about it coming up after this. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, the weekend is here, and that's good. We've got a great looking weekend. Some of the kids are still out for spring break, so it's a good weekend to get out there and enjoy it. Lots of sunshine over the entire state, and temperatures now warming up. You know, we had a little bit of a cool snap there a couple of days, but we'll be into the 80s as we get to the weekend. And right now, I wanted you to see that some places are reporting calm winds, but it was a little breezier this afternoon. Now, the humidity levels are also rising. You can see up to 49% right there in the slightly greenish area. Inland, however, it continues very dry, and I would imagine that out in western areas where the humidity is down to 22%, that they'll be being very cautious continuing over the weekend. So the best news of all is that temperatures will be warming, but our weather pattern will be changing, and we'll be talking about that in a moment. 82 is our forecast for Saturday, 84 on Sunday. Will be 86 on Monday, but then hey, look, temperatures aren't going to mean much to us next week as we start looking at a good potential for showers. Now, as we get to the weekend, this is Friday, notice that the winds will settle down overnight, but tomorrow afternoon they'll be fairly brisk, and you can see how they'll be in the 25 to 30-mile-an-hour range over the weekend. So consider, you know, we're still relatively dry. Now, the winds, of course, are coming around the backside of the big high. That is bringing southerly winds up to the area. Now, this front will come through on Sunday night and into Monday, and all of a sudden, you know, a little cloud cover here and there, and maybe a sprinkle or two. But that's not the main event. The main event actually is going to be an area of low pressure off the west coast that drops down over Baja and then comes up over Mexico and gives us a real destabilized atmosphere, which will give us a rain chance. We haven't seen that in quite some time. Must be 2 weeks or something. Overnight tonight, getting down to about 59, 60 degrees, and then tomorrow, excuse me, looking for quite a bit of sunshine, a little breezy in the afternoon, but getting up to 84. Not a bad looking Saturday for everybody. Here is the main event, all right? Let's take a look at it. This is the GFS model, the American model, and you'll see this two storms are not a factor. That storm stays to the north. We start seeing clouds around our area when on Sunday night and into Monday. You see a little rain chance there coming down through our area, but then you'd start looking to the southwest on Tuesday. We go to Wednesday, and then all of a sudden Thursday, look at that, boom, big blooming chances of rainfall around here. That's for Thursday and for Friday. So 2 days of the possibility of us getting much needed rainfall around the area. Now tomorrow, yeah, if you're going to be outdoors, it's great. It's going to be sunny, a little bit of cloud cover and a little breezy in the afternoon, but getting up to almost 80 degrees down in Port Lavaca. In the Cuero area, you're getting up to about 82, a little bit of cloud cover and a south breeze. So on the weekend is good. Now Monday, 30%, slight chance of a little shower or two. That's not the big one. Here it is, to Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday when we have a real good chance of getting some kind of rainfall here in the Crossroads. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. We'll toss it back to Shawna.
All right, thank you, Mac. Yeah, some students are out for spring break this week, but some of them are still staying busy. We send it over to Max Williams with sports.
That's right, Shawna. One of them there is the boys powerlifters, because they're having the state meet that's held right now in Abilene, Texas. I'll give you some of the results coming up in sports.
Think you know college hoops? Prove it. Enter the Final Four Frenzy presented by Coastal Bend College. Put your bracket up against sports director Max Williams and weekend sports reporter Ray Robinson. Dribble on over to crossroadstoday.com to enter on the contest page. Win it all and score a family 4-pack with a hotel stay and a round of golf for two at Moody Gardens in Galveston. The Final Four Frenzy presented by Coastal Bend College. Brackets lock soon. Enter now.
All right, Cross, so to start up our Friday Sportscast, we had some breaking news earlier from the University of Houston Victoria with the men's and women's golf head coach Garrett Adair announced he is stepping down there and is effective March 21st. Under Adair's guidance, the men's team had 2 top 10 finishes in the NAIA National Golf Championships, 4 consecutive Red River Athletic Conference champions, and the women's team was also conference champs in 2021, advancing to the NAIA National Championships. And assistant coach Taylor Dedman will be the interim head coach for now. Now over there from golf over here to some Friday night softball action. Again, we got some top level action in 2A ranks. The Scheider Lady Comanches facing the Ganado Madians. The game's going to start at 7 p.m. at Ganado High School. And the winner of this game will most likely take firm control of the district going forward. 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson is at Ganado High School to give us a preview of tonight's big 2A clash.
That's right, Max and folks of the Crossroads. We are in for a marquee matchup when talking about some high school softball on this Friday night. You got the Ganado Maidens hosting the Shiner Comanches. The Shiner Comanches, one of the top teams in the state of Texas when we're talking about softball, going against the Ganado Maidens, a team that is good in their own right. But the Shiner Comanches are firing on all cylinders. As we've heard from coach and players previously, they take it one game at a time and play every game like it's a crucial one. And I mean, that is evident in their record being 15-3. Then there's the Ganado Maidens, a team that's been great in their own right, leading the district as the #1 team with a record of 13-4 with 1 draw. So you can expect a very live audience here in Ganado, and all teams that seem to be fundamentally sound and well coached. Make sure you tune in on our 10 p.m. newscast as we'll have the fallout, highlights, and more. Max, back to you.
All right, thanks, Wayne. Can't wait to see how that Shiner versus Ganado game will go again. Also, they'll have a baseball game as well there with Ganado and Shiner, so we'll talk about that later as well. But over to some more top-level softball action where the battle of undefeated teams in district play with the Lamar Consolidated Mustangs facing Victoria East Titans at the U Sports Complex. The game will start here in a matter of just 5 minutes. Both teams are currently 4-0 in district play, and again, this is a big one to watch out for, again, going down the standings later on. Over to boys powerlifting, where the first day for the state meet was today, and some of our Crossroads teams had top placers this season, with the El Campo boys scoring 7 points in total so far, with Aiden Garcia placing 3rd place in the 165-pound weight class, Zeke Mendez finishing in 10th place for El Campo in the 220-pound weight class, and Camden Phillips finishing 2nd place in the 242-pound weight class. Then over to Calhoun, they got a placer in the top 10, and David Varela finishing 6th place in the 148-pound weight class. And also props up to Bay City. They currently are in 17th place right now. Again, still going as we speak, so we'll see if the results change and everything else, because tomorrow will be the 5A team, so Victoria East and West will be competing there tomorrow afternoon. Now over to some playoff soccer. Victoria West men's teams facing Springwoods Tigers in their first game. The game did start about 20 minutes ago there at Bay City Memorial Stadium. And again, trying to see if West can get a big upset, because Springwoods, a top team right now, over 20 wins this season, and West just got there into the playoffs. So hopefully they can get a big upset tonight. We'll give you again the final score of that one later on. And now speaking of Bay City, right, both girls and boys teams are traveling over to Freeport, Texas to play their first round matchups tonight. First is the women's team. They're facing the Brazosport Exporters. That game just started again as well 20 minutes ago. Again, if the Lady Cats win, they're going to face the Salado Eagles in the next round. Also for the Bay City men's team, they're going to play right after the women's team. They're going to the Fort Bend Willow Ridge Eagles. That game is going to start at 8 p.m. there at Hopper Stadium. So if Bay City wins, they will either face the Salado Eagles or the China Spring Cougars there in the next round. And finally, again, like I said, March Madness is going on as we speak. And again, you still have a chance to win our prize in our Final Four Frenzy 16-team and 4-team brackets. Again, sponsored there by Coastal Bend College. However, you're going to have to wait until March 24th to compete there in the 16-team bracket, and then April 1st for the 4-team bracket. But when it does open up, you can go to www.crossroadstoday.com/entertainment/Final Four Frenzy, and then create an account and press play now. The winner will get a family 4-pack to Mooney Gardens, which includes tickets to the Aquarium, Rainforest, Pyramids, MG40 audience recognition theaters, 1-night hotel stay, and 2 rounds of golf. And just one team here in the Texas area played today. We had 3 teams yesterday play, but Baylor beat Mississippi State there earlier today. They are moving on to the next round there in the 2nd round. That's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shawna, back to you.
Max, thank you, and we're back in a moment. People lined up early outside a California Bay Area store to get their hands on chicken. Finally tonight, in this case, the chicken came first. With the current cost of eggs, people in the California Bay Area lined up Thursday to take home their own fluffy chickens. Some showed up 3 hours before the store opened, but the store only received 200 chicks. That's way below the number they were hoping for. That's due to a number of factors, and it meant the store had to limit the number a customer could buy. Each chick costs just under $9. So the plan is for the chick to grow up to be a chicken and then lay the own eggs there in the person's backyard, thereby saving money. Is that the plan? Yeah, what a concept.
I didn't know they came from chickens.
Well, that's why we're here, to deliver the news like that, you know?
I asked my mom, how it was during the Depression. She goes, "What depression? We had chickens, we had tomatoes, we had our own windmill for power." They had everything, just like the old days.
That's right.
Anyway, folks, the windy weather will continue through the weekend, but the most exciting news of all is that middle of next week, I have a pretty good chance that we'll actually get some rain here in the Crossroads. So enjoy your weekend. It'll be up to about 82.
82? Oh my goodness.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
And so now, this rain is going to be heavy later on,
I think,
next week?
Next week, Thursday, Friday, a good chance that we'll get some solid rainfall around here. Could be an inch or two, but it's a little early to tell. The best news is the pattern is changing on us, so we won't be stuck in this windy and hot and dry pattern.
There you go. Very good.
I'll take this hot over August hot, though.
That's right. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.